Hello, we are Garrett, Anthony, Aaron, Rachel, and Ellie, and we will be presenting to you Love Your Melon on some interesting IMC campaign ideas that we have come up with. So as far as the schedule we have for this presentation, first we'll be talking about the situational analysis, go over competition, trends in the marketplace, consumer insights, and implications. Then we will be going over the communication brief, which is background, positioning, brand essence, communications objectives, and our creative. Then we'll be going over our communication mix, some communication tools that we could use. And lastly, we'll be talking about the central communication tool we'd like to use for this IMC campaign and its budgeting and placement along with timing. To start, let's talk a little bit about competition playing in this marketplace. Now, it was kind of tough to determine a specific market that Love Your Melon is working in. They are a trendy apparel company, but they also have their foot in the door with social uprightness. So when thinking about competition, we had to think of other apparel companies that might be trendy that also have their foot in the door of social uprightness. So when thinking about this, first we thought about Tom's, the shoe company, and they have a one-for-one program much like Love Your Melon, where every pair of shoes bought, one is donated to those in need. They might be one of the largest competitors in terms of size and revenue. Unfortunately for Tom's, though, their one-for-one program is deemed relatively ineffective because the people receiving the shoes don't need or want shoes, they need water and food, just something to consider. Then moving on, Twice as Warm is a less known competitor, but maybe a little more fierce in terms of what exactly they do. What they do is when people buy their apparel, which is for winter clothing, one item is also donated to people in need of warm winter clothing. And also Twice as Warm's products are cheaper than Love Your Melons, so this makes them pretty stiff competition if they were a little more well known. Also, we have Headbands for Hope, which is competing in kind of the headgear industry. Their mission is when someone buys their headbands, a portion of the proceeds are donated to charity, and they also give headbands to kids with children's cancer. So they also play in the realm of, fighting children's cancer. Love Your Melon is very similar to these companies, and realizing their differentiation will put them above this competition. So let's talk about marketplace trends. Nowadays, customers are kind of leaning more towards socially conscious purchases, so apparel companies are kind of having to tailor their marketing towards this. People are really interested these days in good trade, production transparency, the use of organic materials, fair trade, environmentally friendly, etc. So instead of competing on price, these small apparel firms and fashion companies are competing with social programs. They also are going to be favoring social networking to get their marketing across instead of expensive marketing tactics because it's cheaper and it is a very effective way to spread awareness. So that's kind of what companies these days are doing in the apparel industry. All right, moving on into consumer insights. What we found from our interviews is that consumers might know the brand, but they might not know exactly what it does. They might know of Love Your Melon, but they don't know, and they might even know that they donate to children's charities, but they might not know exactly how they do it or how much they do it. And because of this, they thought the prices on their products might be a little too high. They did find, though, that the products were very trendy, and they recognized the hats especially the hats from around campus, and knew that they were fairly sought after. Those who did know the mission from our interviews did think very highly of it, and those who were part of it were very proud to be part of it. So the bottom line for our consumer insights is that people like to fit in, look good, and be trendy, and kind of a secondary insight is that all the while looking good and being trendy, people like to donate and be part of something good for their community. All right, on to the implication slide. So implications here, based off of our interviews, individuals who thought the hats were expensive were generally those who did not fully understand the mission. On the other hand, those who understood the mission felt the price was justified, and had positive attitudes about the mission. So, based on the implications here, the hurdle for Love Your Melon will be raising awareness about the mission as a whole, because when people do fully understand the mission, they feel like the price for the hats is completely justified, and they're more than willing to take part in that mission.
Hi, I'm Anthony. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about Love Your Melon's positioning. So Love Your Melon is an apparel and accessory company that does donate proceeds back. This is something that speaks very highly to millennials, and that's what categorizes most of your demographic. So millennials, college kids, as well as being American, being an American company, as an American, fully American-made product, the demographic where you position yourselves in front of will be American college students as well as non-college millennials. So, with Love Your Melon, one of the biggest components that we want to bring to the table is showing off your socially upright and trendy side. We think this is what speaks most to your demographic that you're trying to reach out to. And with that, the brand essence that we want to focus on is donating style. Looking at our brand essence, as well as keeping in mind the company's positioning statement, we have formulated 2 objectives to communicate across to your consumers. The first of which is a 45% awareness increase amongst college students age 18 to 26. We are looking to get this done by the end of 2017 with an $8,000 budget. The second of our 2 objectives is an 80% increase of overall awareness of your trendy product lines, expanding beyond the hat. With this, we look to spend about $12,000, and we're looking to get this done by the end of 2017 as well. Both these objectives will be simultaneously targeted through all of our tactics. Keeping in mind our communication objectives, we find it important that we understand who the target market is for Love Your Melon. To characterize this, we boiled it down to a simple example. The example would be a 21-year-old girl named Katie who is attending college in the US and values what she looks like on a daily basis and how others are perceiving her. She likes to fit in and always buys what's trending around her campus. Using social media helps her stay connected with all her friends and up to date on trends. She also likes to volunteer regularly at the Boys and Girls Club and sees value in giving back to her community. With the target market in mind, we find it important to emphasize all the major selling ideas of Love Your Melon. The biggest one is going to be the brand essence of donating style. This is a combination of 2 of the most important components of your business. One is it's stylish and trendy, and then the donating part is the bigger part where it's all about making sure people know that they're giving back to people that would need it, or people making other people's lives better in the process. So the biggest thing is, for the major selling idea, is that you will get to look fashionable while donating at the same time.
All right. Moving on to some viable communication tools that could be used to implement our IMC campaign, we'll talk about first alternative. So for alternative, we thought it'd be a good idea to put ads in marathons that pertain to helping fight child cancer, and we could also set up a tent there. And that way people will start associating more Love Your Melon with the cause and the mission and trying to fight cancer together. And having a presence there will be really important for that moving forward, that awareness piece about the mission. Second, Love Your Melon right now has something called a blue bus, where it's more looked forward to from women on campus because it's a bus that comes around and it's kind of women marketing to women. This bus comes around and girls hand out hats, Love Your Melon hats, to individuals on the campus. And we want to do a similar thing, but we kind of want to change a little bit about what's going on with the blue buses. We think that it'd be important to have both sexes represented, men and women, so both parties can get excited about it. And then instead of just handing out hats, we would like to hand out other things, more pieces of our product line, so we can build awareness both around the product line as a whole that Love Your Melon has, and they could also speak to the mission that Love Your Melon has and really educate people on what Love Your Melon is all about, because what we want to do is we want to build awareness around the mission and the product line as a whole. So we think the blue bus would be a good alternative tool that we could use. Moving on to database and direct marketing, we thought that we could create visual postcards that depict our product line as a whole, and we could send these out to our target market. And a benefit of this is we can know exactly who we're marketing to, and we could tailor our images directly for them. For example, if a male in our target market, our college market, is getting a postcard, we are able to depict other things like than the hats, like koozies and shirts that they might be interested in, and also kind of outline the mission on those cards. So we think that that might be a good way to reach our individuals at a low cost and to depict both our mission and other pieces of our clothing line that people might be unaware of. Another tool we want to use is the use of PR. We want to get into big events and kind of sponsor them. For example, maybe the Twins could have a Love Your Melon Day where koozies are handed out with at the front gate, so people can kind of start associating Love Your Melon with the community and really get involved with the public as a whole. Also, one of our major ideas we came up with for PR was a best video campaign contest in which individuals can record themselves talking about their experience, maybe with Love Your Melon or cancer and overcoming it, and send them to Love Your Melon, and Love Your Melon will pick a best one and reward them with a cash prize as well as a donation to the charity of their choice. Lastly, we'll talk a little bit about interactive as a viable communication tool. Really, we just want to continue to do a lot of what they're doing right now, and that's pushing social media campaigns, Facebook ads. Really, because we know that our target market exists majorly on social media, and this would be a great way to reach them and to build awareness around our mission and product line. We also look to use Google AdWords to advertise for our products, so people who are searching for causes or products could find us more easily, as well as kind of upgrading and implementing search engine optimization to make sure that people who are searching for a mission or for apparel companies with a mission are able to find Love Your Melon more easily.
With all these viable options of communication tools, we believe that Love Your Melon will benefit most from the interactive component. Love Your Melon in the past has done a great job of their social media reach and as well as their online presence. We believe that with our help, we're going to try and focus as much as possible on building on this. A lot of it will be the brand essence of donating style. The biggest part with this is making sure that every component we do can be tied back to the interactive components. Whether it's just the donating style, specific imagery, or other components of each individual tool, we want to make sure that it can all be brought back to one. And we think that the interactive component will be most engaging with your audience out of all these, and this is why we want to focus more time and effort towards the interactive component for you. All these tools are going to be very important for Love Your Melon to be successful over the next year. We look to implement them all slightly on their own schedules. So first of which, if we're doing the interactive one, that will be a year-long schedule. It'll be done every month of the year, but there will be a pulsing schedule. So going into the holiday season, for example, since your company does self-style, we'll be emphasizing more of a push towards interactive components during that time of the year versus others. Now with the alternative outdoor schedule, we're targeting January, May, and September as the months to really emphasize those. September being an awareness month is very important. With direct marketing, we're looking to do March, April, October, November as the main times of the year to do direct marketing. And then for PR, we're going to focus on January, May, and September. The big reason for this is the PR is going to be very well connected to the alternative piece. So it's important that they work well together and that they're going on at the same time. For the budget. To reach all of our objectives, we will be implementing all these tactics of the interactive, alternative, direct marketing, as well as PR. And it will cost about $20,000. This cost will be broken down for about $1,000 a month for the interactive components, which is largely made up of Google Ads, as well as Facebook and other social platform ads. Outside of that, the other three components will make up the other $8,000. Spending all this money to make sure that we can be successful needs to be measured. And for our measurements, we're focusing strongly on impressions. It's all about getting awareness out there and impressions are the most crucial number when it comes to awareness. We need people seeing your product. We need people understanding your mission. And that's why we're focusing as much as possible as getting your company's name, mission, and most of all, the hashtag of donating style in front of your consumers so that they will become more aware of your company and hopefully spread more awareness themselves by buying into your products. On behalf of my team, made up of Garrett, Aaron, Rachel, and Allie, as well as myself, I would like to thank you for your time today and for your consideration in working with our company. We hope that together we can do a phenomenal job of spreading the awareness of Love Your Melon and getting people to really understand what donating style is all about. Thank you, and have a great day.